evening, everybody. I'm Judith Bigu. I'm the Director for Advanced Studies and Academic Excellence, and I'd like to welcome you to our event this evening where we're going to help you learn how to get the most out of your child's PSAT scores. With me tonight, I have Ms. Valerie Santos, the specialist for K-12 guidance services, and she's going to be taking us through a presentation where you can see some of the things that we're going to be talking about. There will be an opportunity for an open Q&A at the end of our presentation, and you can type your questions in the chat box at any time that you want, and those are going to be held up to us at the end of the session so that we can review some responses for you. It might actually be most beneficial for you if you hold your questions until the end and just kind of jot them down, because we may answer them on our way through the presentation and then put them in the Q&A at the end. Please make sure that the Q&A stuff that you're entering is something that is good for general knowledge for everybody, and know that if you have some questions that are specific to your student, then you'll have an opportunity to either email myself or email Ms. Santos at some point during or after this event. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Valerie Santos.
All right, thank you, Judith. So we're going to do this in 2 steps tonight. First, we are going to link your student's account to College Board to Khan Academy so that they will get individualized practice in hopes to improve their test scores and hopefully gain scholarships and into the college of their dreams. We're also going to review different hints in things about the college score or their PSAT score that you might not be aware of on the College Board account. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What you want to do is go to where your student would normally log in, and their desktop would look like this. We're going to head to Clever. We're going to use to log in the Active Directory. And previously, we used to be able to find Khan Academy right on the desktop of Clever, but that's not true anymore. So we have to kind of do a little searching into a teacher's webpage. Typically, it would be your English teacher or perhaps a math teacher. So I'm going to go ahead and look into this page right here. And this is the Khan Academy icon that I am looking on. We're going to go ahead and click on that icon. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time.
So while this is going to take a second to load for us, I'd like to add that PSAT and SAT is a progressive group of tests that we use within Pinellas County Schools to allow our students to be able to see their annual growth and track their progress toward being college and career ready and potentially meeting the requirements to get into the college of their dreams. So our students begin with PSAT 8-9 in 8th grade, and then in 9th grade, they begin with PSAT NMSQT, or National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. The NMSQT version, when kids hit 11th grade, gives them an opportunity to qualify for literally millions of dollars in a variety of scholarships. So it's not just national merit. So our students will take the PSAT NMSQT as 9th graders. They'll take them again as 10th graders. They'll have the opportunity to opt into those as an 11th grader. And then at the end of their 11th grade year, they will also have an opportunity to take an SAT for the first time, all of those at no expense to the student. So we want our students to understand the progression and how to track their growth from one year to the next, as well as how they can go about growing their skill set so that they can perform their absolute best each year on this assessment.
So you can see that we did make it to the Khan Academy page. We're going to go right into the search bar right here, and we're going to click SAT, and you'll see that the official SAT practice pops up right here. You want to go ahead and click on that because we're going to begin the process of sending your SAT scores or your PSAT scores over to Khan Academy. So we're going to start with that by clicking Let's Go. And we'll wait a second. And so this is the Khan Academy practice site right here. You're going to scroll down and you'll see where it says sign in to collegeboard.org. We're going to go ahead and click that. And this is taking you to the College Board account where you will go ahead and give permission to send your scores over. And you'll see that process in just a second as I log in.
So this is a great opportunity to highlight that students should not create their College Board account until they're in the 9th grade. And that's because it gets very difficult for students to track that College Board account if they create it and then don't use it for a long period of time. So our students create College Board accounts within their 9th grade year so that they can perform this task, as well as so that they can make use of resources when they're taking advanced placement courses.
So I've logged in, and you can see it saying Khan Academy is asking for permission to send the scores. And we're going to click send because we're going to give them permission to send those scores to Khan Academy so we can get that personalized practice. Once here, we're back at the Khan Academy page, and we're going to go ahead and click allow to share the information. And here it's bringing the scores over. So the linking of the account is just one step. We want to make sure that this isn't just a process that we do just to say that I linked my account. We want to make sure that you and your student come up with a way of practice, like how often are you going to practice each week, and follow through with the practicing so it really is beneficial and you are able to, the student is able to improve their scores. So here, if you were to click here, once you transferred your scores over, you will see your test scores. They would pop up here. If you just had one score, it will be displayed there. To actually get the actual practice, you're going to go right here. You're going to click practice, and you'll see it'll say your recommendations. Notice that it has the math and it has the reading and the writing. For those students that are seniors, they would have the essay part if they took the essay part for the individual practice there. So that way you can go ahead and get started with your practicing and hopefully bringing your scores up and bringing them to the level that you're happy with and get you into the college that you really desire. So that is the process of linking your College Board account to Khan Academy so that you can have the individualized practice. Now we are going to go back to the College Board account so that we can see all the great resources and items that they show you according to your score. It breaks them down. It shows you actual test questions you got incorrect and how to fix them. I'm having a little trouble here logging on.
So while Ms. Santos is shifting to the College Board webpage, she mentioned that there is an essay section in that personalized practice for the current seniors. And she emphasized that because College Board has decided to do away with the essay portion of the SAT, and that's based on feedback from colleges and universities. So students who are juniors or younger will not need to be prepping for the essay section of the SAT because it's not going to exist anymore after this spring.
All right, so I did finally make it onto my account here, and we're going to click right here into PSAT scores so that we can pull up an actual score and show you all the valuable information that they give you on the College Board website. So you would go ahead and pick a score, you'd right-click the arrow, and it'll bring up that score. This first page kind of gives you some general knowledge about your score. This would be your combined score. The range, if you were to take the test with 6 weeks without any practice of score you could possibly score, and the range of what you could score on the test actually. Here is a percentile, and if you scroll down, it gives you a little bit of information on your college readiness according to the benchmarks by the College Board. So you'll see there's a little score key here. Red means there needs to be some strengthening in some skills in order to be considered college ready. Yellow means you're approaching the benchmark, and green means you would be meeting or exceeding the benchmark. So that kind of gives you a little information, a starting point on where your student is and maybe what area that needs to be focused on. The next steps is what we're going to do is going to look at these tabs up here, and we're going to show you some of the great information that you can find in each one of these. So the first one is score details. So basically what I just showed you, it breaks it down even further for you. So it will tell you where your score is, what's the highest score, your percentile, how many you got correct, how many you got incorrect, and how many you omitted. It's really important that you have that conversation with your student that omitting questions is like not omitting questions. Having 0 omitted questions is really important because we don't get penalized for guessing on the SAT or the PSAT. So when we know time's about to be called, it's really important that we're trying to answer every question that we can so that we can optimize our score because we know that we don't get penalized. So looking that it breaks down into math, to writing and language, and then to also into reading. Next, we're going to go to test questions. And these next two tabs are kind of my favorite. Like, I really like the information that you can get in these tabs because it's really helpful for your student and for you when you're looking at it. So this breaks it down once again by area. So we have reading, writing, and language, math without a calculator, and math with a calculator. So you'll be able to look at the different kinds of questions. Notice it'll say easy would be 1 square, medium 2, hard would be 3. And you can scroll down and see all the questions, your answer, whether you got it correct, and if you didn't, it'll give you the correct answer, and it'll tell you what kind of question it is. That's not only the cool part. The cool part is we can filter, and we can go incorrect answers, and it'll tell you what number they were. So say, notice that most of my questions were difficult or a little bit harder. I didn't miss the easier questions, so I was... Obviously, that is better to do that. If we miss easy questions, maybe we need to slow down. Maybe we're not reading things fully. So let's look. We missed question number 3. Let me look at question number 3. You can see, unlike any other test we take, it actually tells you what question 3 was and lets you see like what the answer was and know what answer you made. And you can do that with each question that you missed on the SAT. So I think this is just a great way to go back and look see at what kind of questions you're missing, how they're worded, and really help you to fine-tune on not just test prep, but on knowing where your strengths and weaknesses are. The next one is skills insight. This is also a great one. I really like because they break it up in the area again, but they tell the student what they're doing well, like something they have a good concept they have a hold on. So like this person is able to read a passage and draw a reasonable inference. But it also will tell you things that you need to focus on improving your skills. So it will tell you, it'll give you little hints on what exactly you can do to fine-tune these skills. And these are hints that you can use on a daily basis, like reading it, keep on rereading the text until you actually are able to understand it. So your student could use this in their homework, they could use it when they're studying, and learning these kinds of skills will really help them going forward and when they take the test moving forward. So that's the skills insight. The last area we want you to look at is the AP potential. And that's really important at this time of year because this is the time when our students are picking classes for next year. Their counselors are coming in their classes and trying to figure out, helping them figure out what they want to take next year. So if we're trying to stick with the rigorous courses and getting into that college that we want, this is really important to see where we can be successful and what classes we should take. So you'll see the table will say 3 dots would be that you're highly likely to score a 3 or higher if you were to take the AP test in the class. This one shows some potential. You might have to work hard. And this one's saying that if you take this class, you would probably need to make sure that you go to those study sessions, that you reach out to your teacher, that you get all the supports that you can to be successful. Also, it will show you if the course is offered at your school. So say you wanted to really take something, but your school didn't offer it. Or you wanted to see, I really want art history. Oh, look, my school has it. And then you say, well, I could take comparative politics and government, but what really is that? You can actually click on there and it'll give you the details of the course. So you can say, well, that might not really be for me, and help you to make a more informed decision. And we really want you to sit with your students and make this decision with them, because working together, I think, we're just going to get where we want to go, whether it be college and scholarships, and definitely keep with the rigor. We've covered all the areas we want to cover. So now like Ms. Vigu said, we are going to open it up to questions and answers. So if you have a question that maybe we didn't answer and it's for the good of the group, so it's more of a broader question, you can type it into the chat at this time. Or if you have a more personalized question that may be more student specific, you would be able to email that to myself or Ms. Vigu, and our email was posted for you earlier.
So we'll have that email address posted again for you in just a second. Please do know this presentation was recorded and it will be posted on our YouTube channel, so you can always go back and revisit the tape of this so that you can start and stop it however many times you want to and pause in the middle of it while you're working through it. Additionally, I want to remind you that, as Ms. Santos mentioned, if you're thinking about what your next steps are as a parent, our recommendation would be that you spend some time sitting down with your student and navigating the College Board website to see those specific areas that she highlighted, such as the test questions, and revisit the questions that your child had incorrect. Revisit the Skills Insight section to understand what your child's strengths are and where they have the greatest opportunity for improvement. And then also make sure that you visit that AP Potential section and take a look at what College Board is recommending your child engages in at your school. So the first question that we have is, how did you get on Clever? And I don't see Khan as an option. So can you remind us?
Sure. So to get to Clever, what you would need to do is have your student log on to either their school computer, or if they have a computer at home, and they log on using their R2D2 and their SDOT, and they should know what that is if you're speaking to them. And you'll see this little Clever icon. It's a blue square, and you would just click on that. And remember, I said that little Khan Academy icon likes to hide from us. So if you don't know your child's English or math teacher, I would recommend kind of going through these teacher pages here, and you should be able to find it in one of the teacher pages. If not, that might be maybe an email you need to send to us later and let us know. But I'll click on this teacher's page right here, and you can see that I found the little Khan Academy icon right there.
So the second question that we had is, Khan Academy is not found on my child's Clever. Her teacher does not use it. And so I'll respond to that one. We asked our math and our English language arts teachers to get this posted in their Clever dashboard last week in preparation for this week. And I'm sure that several of them have already taken care of that, but I'm also sure that there are some out there that are outliers that need to be reminded to do it. So if you have a child who isn't seeing this in their teacher pages for their math teacher and for their ELA teacher, it needs to just be in one of them. It doesn't have to be in both. If your child doesn't have that in either the math or the English teacher's Clever dashboard, then at that point, if you let one of us know, we can nudge the teacher a little bit and just make sure that it happens, because it's a simple 3-minute process for the teacher to take care of. Okay, so again, we invite you to tap into the recording and revisit this at your own pace, starting and stopping as needed, and to reach out to Ms. Santos or myself via email. You can email both of us, and that will get you your quickest response. And otherwise, we really appreciate you tuning in and being a part of this process with us this evening, and we hope that you found it helpful. Have a great evening, everybody.